Okay, we'll start with English and then go to Spanish and then Zoom. Caleb, if you want to get started.
Yeah, for sure. I think it was expected to maybe have some offensive work to do with bringing in some new guys on offense. On the defensive side of things, you guys have gone out eight matches without a clean sheet. What do you kind of owe that and the early goals tonight too?
Yeah, obviously that's a big concern because if you're not scoring goals, the last thing you can afford to do as a group is to concede goals. The first goal, again, I haven't seen if we could have done better with it. But the second goal, it's 2 games in a row where we're conceding goals on wide free kicks, and so we'll look to make some adjustments there. But again, I think it's 2 sides of the coin. Today, we look like a team that hadn't played in a few weeks. We gave away a lot of cheap balls early. And what that does to the psyche of the individual and the psyche of the group is it doesn't allow us to repress, especially when our pivots aren't sharp with the ball. We're losing the ball in dangerous areas, and so what you end up doing is collapsing as a group to get behind the ball. And obviously they got momentum after the goals, but I think that's really the story of the game is that we weren't sharp with the ball, and more importantly, after conceding the first goal, is trying to force it. Instead of just finding the next pass to build confidence in your attack, which would allow your team to move up the field, then we can get into the repress actions that are actually contributing to the offensive side. So that's what it looked like to me, and that's what it felt on the sidelines. I think the score reflected that.
What can you tell us about Chicho coming out in the first half, and then maybe how you fill that void on offense?
Yeah, it's tough. You lose, Chicho, and Andres, his ability to create goals on his own. Those are 2 guys that we lean heavily on. So we're gonna have to get to work this week and figure out a different mechanism to be a bit more creative in the final third, and little tweaks, whether it's releasing a center back, whether it's getting a pivot into the box, but we need better service and we need more numbers in the box, and I think that's one way of making up for an absence of Chicho.
What's up, Pops? What are some positives in this game, and what are you looking forward to going forward?
Positives. It's tough in a game like this to really find positives. I think one of the things is the guys, really push for it in the second half, right? I think they, again, winning balls higher up the field, putting balls in the box, getting a couple really good looks on goal. But what I say about football all the time is that goals change games, and it changes not only the score line, but it changes the psyche of the group. I felt like if we would have scored 1, now you're seeing a different team, and we just weren't able to find the back of the net. And credit their goalkeeper who I thought made a couple key saves for him, but we just it just wasn't in the cards tonight. But the mentality to keep pushing is critical. Obviously, the players are hardest on themselves. And some of the things that we talked about is overcoming difficulties during the game, right? Because again, you can make tweaks and changes at halftime, but oftentimes that's too late. And so, how do we as a group regroup when the game feels like it's out of control? And so, from an offensive perspective, it's really connecting your next pass. It's really building confidence with each pass so that we can move the ball up the field, so that we can then get in our repress shape and then start to dictate the game on our terms. And I thought in the second half they did a really good job of that. Hey, Andrew.
A lot of new faces on this team, and it's really crazy just to see them all in action together. How do you think that translated from your 19 days off, adding the new faces, now getting out there? I know you said you're unhappy, but that's a whole new team.
Yeah, no, it's tough. And again, I think it goes to show, with our attack, how much attention guys like Andres was was commanding on that right flank, and again, he scored a lot of goals from individual brilliance, and so that's obviously a position that we're going to have to get more reps in. Lockie and Dominic have trained with us 2 days, so again, it's not easy, but they'll continue to get better, and as they understand the way we play, and more importantly, their teammates' tendencies, and that's probably the thing that will take the most time, because again, this is the way we want to play. But when this player has the ball, what does he like to do? And then I play off of him in those said moments. So, yeah, I'd like to say it'll take some time, but really we got 8 games left, so time is valuable, and we got to learn quick. And again, not an easy night for us, but what I know about this group is they're resilient, they're strong-willed, and we'll put forth a better performance next weekend.
Anyone on Zoom in English?
Pablo, los cambios han afectado al equipo sin lugar a dudas, pero tú mencionas una palabra clave, que los goles cambian resultados y cambian el estado anímico. No es la primera vez que nos hacen goles en errores de salida. Si no te hacen un gol si no te hacen ese primer gol, pudo haber cambiado la situación. ¿Qué hacer? Porque no es la primera, ni la segunda, ni la tercera, ni la cuarta que te meten gol por errores. Y no quiero ser duro, pero Justin Glatt está cometiendo muchos errores. ¿Cómo trabajar con él?
So the question was that they've conceded a lot of goals this season, building out of the back with self-inflicted errors. Specifically, Justin Glad, how do you deal with the errors that he's been committing?
Yo creo que en el fútbol, si dejamos que el miedo de conseguir gol en contra está en la mente, nunca va a jugar con la mentalidad necesaria para ser ganador. O sea, hay que tomar ese riesgo. Ahora tenemos que corregir esos momentos, porque los momentos, y por eso el fútbol es increíble, porque durante la semana, donde no hay presión, es muy fácil, porque si te hacen un gol, empezar de nuevo. Pero en los partidos son momentos muy graves, son momentos grandes para el equipo, y tenemos que seguir trabajando de la misma manera, o sea, darle confianza a los jugadores, enseñarle los pases que son simples, cuando se abre el juego, porque ya venimos 9 meses trabajando en el estilo que estamos jugando. Y yo creo que en las últimas 6 semanas he visto un poco de duda con el balón. ¿Y qué pasa cuando tenés duda con el balón? Cometer errores. ¿Y qué pasa con el equipo? Ahora estamos en transición defensiva. No podemos presionar el balón de frente para sumar más oportunidades. Y para mí es la única manera. Yo sé que como exjugador había momentos así, y tenemos que seguir con confianza apoyando a los jugadores, porque si rompemos línea, ahora tenemos mejor oportunidad de marcar gol. Y eso siempre es el pro y el con. Pero también hay que estar consciente que si este momento no está claro para romper línea, seguimos moviendo el balón que mueve la defensa, entregarlo de nuevo al medio, y de ahí rompemos línea. Pero no queremos cambiar el sistema porque algunos jugadores no están en el nivel alto. Queremos seguir dándole confianza, seguir trabajando esta semana. Así la semana que viene estoy sentado acá hablando de qué juego jugó los jugadores que no andaban tan bien.
That in the game of soccer, if you're worried about conceding, you're never going to be able to be successful. That obviously when you're in training, there's not the same pressure that you have in the game. In the game, there's a lot more urgent moments that if you mess up, it's obviously going to have a bigger consequence, and that they're not going to change systems just because of the few players aren't clicking, that they just need to focus on getting the players to recognize the right pass and when the space opens up, and also when the correct time, if the pass isn't there to break the line, to move the defense, play it through the midfield, and then go up from there. But that they just have to have trust in the players, and that they'll work on that.
Tú acabas de mencionar algo importante, es lo último para mí, que dices la duda. Y eso es lo que hace de que el equipo prácticamente no tenga confianza, porque se demoran demasiado en salir y no saben a quién pasar y le dan tiempo al otro equipo que cuando está saliendo porque atacaron, le dan tiempo para acomodarse y ya. Y yo creo que de repente mi otra pregunta iba a ser como ¿por qué no romper líneas? ¿Por qué no cambiar de sistema cuando te están haciendo lo que quieren en ese momento? Ya lo dijiste, ¿por qué? Entonces, lo último sería, no había escuchado a este público prácticamente estar en contra del equipo y lo han hecho el día de hoy. O sea, han protestado de una manera fuerte y eso no lo había escuchado durante mucho tiempo.
So that he had mentioned doubt previously, and that when the players are doubting themselves with the ball, like you're not able to make the pass quickly, you're giving the other team time to adjust and move to defend you. Another thing he mentioned is that the home crowd tonight was booing the home team, which he hasn't heard in a long time. So just his thoughts on that.
Sí, el plan de el plan ofensivo siempre es, si podemos jugar rápido, jugamos rápido. O sea, porque la defensa siempre va a estar desorganizado. Sí, pero como entrenador, y le decimos, si están desorganizados, juegan rápido, así rompemos línea más fácil. Cuando están armados, ya tenemos 5 o 6 opciones como romper el equipo. Pero como entrenador, no puedo estar en la cancha, no me puedo meter en la cancha para decirle, ahora juegan rápido. No, ahora tranquilos, que están armados. Y ahora buscamos el pase clave para subir el equipo adelante. Eso es imposible. Y eso tengo que tener mucha confianza en el trabajo que hacemos de lunes al viernes y que se entienden lo que estamos hablando. Pero claro, como dije, es muy fácil el martes porque no hay presión. Cuando hay duda, a lo mejor deben jugar rápido, pero esperan, porque tienen duda. Y esa cosa, para mí, el fútbol es un partido de confianza y duda. Y cuando la duda te gana la confianza, ahora hacen cosas tácticamente, técnicamente, que no deben ser. ¿Y qué es la razón que tienen duda? Si hacen de los primeros 3 pases, si se confunden 2 veces, es duda. Y esa duda afecta la táctica como el individual. Y por eso la cultura del grupo es tan importante, porque si uno empieza a agachar la cabeza, contagia a todo. Y como dije, y también van, no sé, 3 semanas sin partido, los primeros pases deben ser simples, moviendo el balón, moviendo la defensa. Y el tema de la afición, yo entiendo, porque ahora somos un equipo diferente que cualquier otro año, porque las expectativas son más altas. Porque hicimos un buen trabajo en los primeros 20 partidos del campeonato y sube las expectativas y quieren ver ese equipo. Y yo estoy conforme con cómo se sienten. Y ahora el trabajo mío y el cuerpo técnico para poner los jugadores darle confianza y encontrar esa forma que tuvimos cuando iniciamos el campeonato.
So that their attacking plan has always been, and the players know that if the other team and the other team's defense is disorganized, to play quick. And obviously when the team is set to kind of look, there's about 5 or 6 ways that they're able to break the lines, and that they're wanting them to slow it down, find that pass, move the defense. So that's that. And then from the fans' perspective, that he understands them, that the expectations this year are a lot higher than previous years just because of the way that they've performed. The first 20 games, but that it's his and the other coaching staff's job to find a way to make the players more confident and to bring back that form that we've seen the first half of the season.
Solo una pregunta, Pablo. ¿Tú crees que hoy, bueno, al menos yo hoy vi un equipo diferente, no solamente por los jugadores, no solamente un poco por lo táctico y también los que faltaban arriba, ¿no? Porque no solamente es Chicho y Gómez, sino también Luna, que no estuvo el partido de hoy. Pero ¿no crees que por momentos al equipo le faltó un poco de personalidad? Y me refiero a personalidad en el sentido de presionar más, correr más, pedir más la pelota, tratar de ser más asertivos o tener esa misma idea de juego o mentalidad que la tuvieron en los partidos anteriores.
Even though we were missing a lot of big name players, Chicho, Andres now, and also Luna, do you think that the team lacked a little bit of personality in the way of not pressing enough, not asking for the ball enough, not putting enough pressure on the other team?
Sí, como hablé recién, para mí el fútbol es duda y confianza. Y pueden ser los mismos jugadores, pero parecen diferentes cuando no hay confianza y cuando hay duda. Y como dijiste, si no tenés Luna, no tenés Chicho y no tenés Andrés, son jugadores grandes. Es como no... y esos jugadores marcan la diferencia. Siempre, siempre, siempre. Por eso tenemos grandes jugadores que marcan la diferencia. Esa personalidad, eran los tres en los primeros 20 partidos que marcaban la diferencia, que le daba confianza al equipo. Ahora tenemos 5 jugadores nuevos y tenemos que encontrar la manera. Y eso no es fácil, porque no puedo decir nada que le van a dar confianza. La confianza en el partido se siente cuando tengo este animal que mete goles, cuando este lleva 1 contra 1 y encuentra el centro, cuando este encara el lado izquierda y mete gol. Eso es verdadero, no son cosas que le puedo decir, no, hay que tener confianza. Eso no existe en el mundo. La confianza viene por adentro. Y si miro adelante y no tengo los tres monstruos, la mentalidad va a cambiar un poco. Y por eso digo, el trabajo nuestro es encontrar la mejor exposición para los jugadores nuevos y si hay que cambiar alguna cosita tácticamente para que se sienten un poco más cómodos, ese también puede ser, pero al fin de día el partido se gana y se pierde en los 90 minutos y el trabajo nuestro es para estar cierto que saben el trabajo, tienen confianza y también ellos también necesitan hacer las jugadas que trae la confianza. Alguien tiene que hacer una jugada ahí en la área. Eso no lo puede manejar de afuera. Eso no lo puede trabajar el lunes. Hay que hacer la jugada el sábado enfrente de todo para cambiar esa mentalidad. Y ese es el trabajo nuestro.
That for him, like he had said before, soccer is with having doubt and then having confidence that the same player can be 2 very different players when they have confidence and when they're doubting themselves. But that they have 5 new players, obviously missing Luna, Andres, and Chicho are 3 big players. Those are the 3 that would mark the difference in the first half of the season. They obviously didn't have that tonight, but they have 5 new players, and that's his and his coaching staff's job to find what positions make them more comfortable, even if they need to make tactical adjustments to get the best out of them, to get them to make the difference. Anyone else for Pablo?
Thanks, Pablo.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Alex, you can unlock that.
Want to get us started, Caleb?
Yeah, for sure. Congrats on making your debut tonight, Lachlan. I'm sure it wasn't the result you guys wanted, but how were those first minutes on the pitch for you tonight?
Thank you. Obviously not the result that we wanted, but I think that's football, obviously. But on a positive note, like you said, the debut I'm really happy with. First minutes in a long time, so definitely felt it. But overall happy about it.
And then just in general, I guess, kind of what was the feeling playing MLS soccer for the first time? Were there any differences that you noticed to previous leagues that you've been in?
Yeah, the tempo's quick, definitely. That's probably the main thing. But it's just more an individual thing, I guess, for me. Just obviously trying to get fit again. and this is my first game, like I said, in 3 months. So it's almost the start of the season for me. As for the other boys, it's, you know, they're coming to the end of their season. So yeah, definitely the tempo is a lot quicker. And yeah, like you said, I'm trying to learn the system and stuff still. That's going to take a little bit of time, but I feel like I'm doing all right with it. But yeah.
As an attacking player, for the team not to get any goals tonight, what did you see out there that maybe you guys can work on and improve for the next game?
I think it was just the final pass. I think it's the case when teams come here, they do sit off, which is something that obviously I've been told and sort of seen, and that obviously makes it difficult when you've got the whole team behind the ball to sort of create space and create chances. So that's always one thing, and then yeah, it did seem to just not go our way, sort of thing as well. But like you said, you know, you score first in the game, things change. It's very difficult to go behind early and then even by 2 goals to come back, because they don't have to go forward, they're 2-0 up, so it becomes very difficult. So yeah, I think that was the case tonight.
Congrats on your first, game minutes. You looked good. How did it feel out there?
Yeah, it was good, thank you. Yeah, it was good. Obviously, to get on the ball and get some touches. And like you said, I can train as much as I want sort of with the team, but you can't really get a feel of the MLS until you play your first game. So that was something I was really excited about tonight. And yeah, I'm just really happy to sort of get that first game out the way and now try to contribute as much as I can and help the boys out to the rest of the season.
And then you kind of tucked in a little bit. You went wide sometimes. Feel comfortable going all the way across? I mean...
Yeah, I think when I first came on, I was playing out right, and then some more subs, and I sort of changed position a bit. But it's something that I'm happy to do. I like playing anywhere up there, and sort of can be pretty versatile wherever that is, which is obviously, I guess, a good trait. When you just want to play games, you sort of get chucked in anywhere, which is good. So yeah, that's me. I'm just trying to help out the team as much as I can wherever that is.
Awesome. Congrats.
Thank you.
Anyone else in English on Zoom? En español? Carlos?
Congrats. Somebody asked Pablo what you can rescue in this kind of results. And we broadcast for Spanish population, and we had the same question, what we can rescue in this kind of results. And we all together were aquí, is you, because you was very able to do the things, and you did really good. And I was talking to him too. So this is the positive, seeing you in your first game and doing. So you feel more comfortable in some position because you started on the right, and after that you went to the left side.
Yeah, look, I think when you come on, it can sometimes be a little bit of a cheat code. I don't know if you know what that means, but just in terms of, you're fresh into the game, the other players aren't fresh, so that, I'm not saying I did bad, obviously, but yeah, I think it can always help in a way. You're obviously fresher than the other players, so you get brought onto the pitch to make an impact. Otherwise, there's no point in making a sub at all. So in terms of position, I really don't mind. I think on the right, I like to cut in, obviously, but even when I'm playing central as well, I like to try to link up as much as possible. So wherever that is, wherever that position is, what Pablo sees me playing is what I'm happy to do. So.
How is the relationships with your new friends?
Yeah, it's good. It's been good. I'm a quite out there guy, so yeah, I try to talk to everyone as much as possible. I'm going to try to learn Spanish as well, so I can communicate with everyone else. So leaves me with 2 friends. So
you say hola.
Hola.
That's the common. Okay.
There you go. Fluent.
Gracias.
Yeah, no, all good.
Anyone else?
Oh yeah, last thing. Corner kick. You took the corner kick at the end of the game.
Yeah.
Was that planned, or you just kind of was like, hurry up, let's go?
I think Diogo just said go, so I just said, yeah, that's fine. But I think, yeah, when we obviously do set pieces and stuff, you get told that you're coming on, you get told that you're going to take them. But I think it's not too, doesn't really matter. Whoever can whip a ball in, that's the main thing, right? So, yeah, all good.
Congrats, man.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Gracias.
De nada.
Hi guys.
I got it, Mike. Hey, congrats. Ya. Si hablo español. Ok, perfecto. El resultado no es el mismo. El que tal vez hayan esperado todos, ganar el partido con tu debut. Pero igual, ¿cómo te has sentido en este juego?
Obviously, it wasn't the result that you expected to get on your debut, but how did you feel finally getting your first minutes with the club?
Claro que los resultados no es lo que esperábamos, independiente si juego yo o mis compañeros, queremos ganar siempre, pero me sentí bien, hace tiempo que no jugaba, claro que no es fácil llegar ahora sin entrenar mucho, pero creo que me sentí bien y tengo que mejorar y hacer mejor, como claro.
Obviously, it wasn't the result me and my teammates wanted, but I felt good to finally make my debut and just continue to keep growing.
¿Qué sabías del Real Salt Lake antes de llegar acá?
No, ya sabía algo que introducir.
What did you know about Real Salt Lake before transferring to the club?
No, ya sabía algo porque ya conocía a Chicho y por eso lo seguía en las redes y miraba que hacía muchos goles y hizo todo y iba mirando siempre.
I knew a little bit about it. I knew Chicho, and I saw on his social media that he would score a lot of goals, so I kind of knew a little bit about it from that.
¿Sientes alguna diferencia en la MLS y el fútbol donde estabas jugando antes?
Do you feel the difference between MLS and then the Danish league that you were playing in before?
Yo creo que en la Europa es más táctico. Aquí los equipos intentan siempre jugar para adelante, siempre contraatacar. Es un juego muy más rápido y claro, tengo que acostumbrarme.
In Europe, it's a lot more tactical. Here, it's kind of just counter-attacking, more physical play that you need to watch out for.
Felicitaciones por llegar aquí y jugar con Real Salt Lake. Y primera pregunta, lo casi tenía en esa pelota a Chicho bien cerca. Vamos a ver más de eso.
You had a few times where you were playing good with Chicho. Do you think we'll see more of that in the future?
Sí, creo que sí. Es las expectativas que el club tiene también y creo que puede hacer eso muchas más veces durante el partido. Pero creo que solo hice uno o dos, yo creo. Pero voy a intentar hacer mucho más y también goles.
Yes, that's what is expected, not just by us but by the club. But I only had a few tonight, but I hope in the future to have a lot more.
Y de un disparo, tiro, ¿cómo se dice? Okay, alguno. Ya, bien cerca también. Vamos a ver más de eso también.
So that shot you had was very close. Do you think we'll see more of that?
Yo creo que puedo hacer mucho mejor, que fue muy lejos.
I think it could have been a lot better. It was too far off the goal.
Diego, preguntarte un poco sobre los fanáticos. Hoy quizás no estuvieron tanto con el equipo por el resultado, pero hubo un muy buen ambiente. ¿Qué te pareció? ¿Qué era lo que esperabas tú de esta afición?
Just ask a question about the fans. You obviously weren't very happy with how the team played tonight, but what did you think about the overall environment and of the stadium tonight?
La verdad que independientemente del resultado, creo que los fans estuvieron siempre con nosotros, nos apoyaron hasta el final y creo que el ambiente fue fantástico y ojalá en el futuro podamos ganar para ellos.
Obviously, besides the result, it felt like the fans were with us until the very end, and obviously next time we were going to want to win for them.
Y un poco de tu posición en el campo. Hoy jugaste por la banda izquierda, ahí es donde normalmente se utiliza a Diego Luna. ¿En los entrenamientos te ha puesto Pablo ahí mismo por banda izquierda o te ha puesto en una posición diferente también para intentar hacer algún tipo de jugadas diferentes?
So in the game today, you were on the left wing. That's typically where we see Diego Luna. In training, has Pablo had you on the left wing, or have you been in other positions to kind of unlock more tactical adjustments?
No, ya entrené en todas las posiciones de frente. Yo creo que voy a jugar donde el entrenador decida, por eso estoy preparado para jugar donde sea, para ayudar al equipo.
So I've been training in all the positions up front. I'm ready to just play wherever the coach needs me to play. Anyone on Zoom?
Good. Awesome.
Thank you.